performing a craft or a hobby can create within a person a meditative state, which, as we all know, gives us this great feeling of relaxation. Dr. Herbert Benson, a pioneer in mind and body medicine, is the author of a book called The Relaxation Response. One of the things that he notes, particularly with knitting, is that there is a lower heart rate, blood pressure, reduced harmful blood levels of the stress hormone cortisol that are all a response to actually knitting. So that relaxation response comes while you're actually performing your craft. Now, obviously, you all know I talk about it all the time. I have my knitting stuff in the back of the room right now. I'm big on knitting, but it doesn't have to be knitting. It can be any kind of craft. One of the other things, though, that I found out actually in my research has to do with cognitive function. So this is a picture of my stepdaughter, not her. And my stepdaughter she's the president of a club at her college called Hooked on Helping. And what you're seeing here is a picture of a 21-year-old woman interacting with a woman who is clearly advanced in age and goes to the senior center. And what they're doing is they're taking old plastic bags from the grocery store and they're making them into a yarn, and then they knitted mats that they gave to the homeless. So not only does knitting help the elderly concentrate and have a better cognitive function, but in this particular instance, it was also extremely beneficial to the community at large. I actually got this picture, although I did use it with Sydney's permission, I got this picture out of an article that was in the Reading Eagle, which is up her way, she's at Alvernia. They did a feature article basically on her group and what they've been doing and how they've been affecting it. They've also found that schools and prisons that have craft programs, students are better able to handle math functionality, prisons are calmer, all from learning how to knit and the various functions that go along with it. There was also a study by the Mayo Clinic that said specifically there was a diminished chance of developing mild cognitive impairment when you are in your elder years. However, it should be noted that the study stated basically that it was inconclusive because there could be a higher probability of people who don't have cognitive problems that actually take up the craft of knitting. So I decided that I would give you guys a little bit of an example of what it is to knit. This is me in my home about 4 years ago, maybe a little longer. You'll notice I'm thinner. And I decided to use my iPhone to take some, oops, that's not where I wanted to go, to take some time-lapse photography of me knitting. And what I'm knitting here, not only is it helping me stay calm, I was told that my face doesn't look very calm, but really that's me relaxed. But what I'm knitting here is a lacework shawlette. And a shawlette is not as big as a full shawl, it only comes down to about here. And it only covers over to here. It's just a very little lacy piece that goes over the top. And the reason that I was knitting this, by the way, it's a merino wool that's hand-dyed and cultivated in Chile. The reason I was knitting this is because a friend of mine had recently moved to Boulder, Colorado. And there was a woman there who put her up. And my cousin and I had driven her car 1,700 miles across country. This is the second time, by the way, not the first, second. With over